Okay, so today I will talk about the single material or solid state battery. So sorry the typing. And okay, so I'm part of the EFRC NEAS, University of Maryland. Actually, today I talk about my research. Actually, Gary will summarize the whole EFRC, and we have another trust leader. We talk about all solid state battery. So today I talk about my research. So today we will talk about the all solid state battery challenge and also current technology, how to reduce the interface resistance. And then we talk about our idea on the single material lithium battery. And then we talk about the merits of the new technology about single material lithium battery. So this is the current technology on the lithium battery. So we have the structure, we have electrolytes, carbon black, and active material, that is an electrode. And we also have in the middle, we have a solid electrolytes, and in the low side, we have anode material, active material, carbon black, and the electrolytes. And then we sinter or compressed. The challenge is we have normally solid electrolytes, they have a lower ionic conductivity, but right now we have a breakthrough. We have LGPS, has very high ionic conductivity. We also have organic electrolytes, they also have a high conductivity. Looks like this, we have some tremendous progress. But we still have another challenge, that is interface resistance. So the interface resistance is due to, if you solid contact, the contact is much smaller than liquid and solid. Second is, in this way right now the technology is we try sintered, so make them as large as possible, the interface contact. The second challenge is the electrode and electrolytes, they are react during the sinter or during the charge-discharge. When lithium move out and cross the electrolyte electrode, they carry some ion also moved. So in that case, one is a chemical reaction, one is the electrochemical reaction. So in this case, normally we do is coating ionic or electronic conducting material separated and electrode and electrolytes. But they have a limited success. And even challenge is the volume change. Electrolytes ion concentration now change, but electrode ion change. So the volume change on the active material, but the solid electrolyte volume now change. If one side change, one side volume now change, the interface, they have the gradually increase the interface resistance. So right now the technology, they form porous structure. But the porous, they still have the same thing. Even allow volume change, they reduce the stress. But the interface between them, they still gradually increase because once one particle active material volume change, so the interface resistance continue increase. So the idea, if you really want to remove the interface, is there any way if electrode and electrolytes, they're one material, and then we do not have an interface? Because interface is really a challenge right now. If we can remove the interface, use a single material, maybe we can reduce the highly continue increase of the interface. So we want to check it's possible or not. So the technology right now we say is for the anode or cathode electrode, they have three phases. One is electrolytes, one is electrode, one is carbon black, because we need a mixed conductor. So now we want to say, is there possible we use one material? And then we check the requirement. So the requirement for anode is you should have a mixed conductor. You need to put a carbon, or the material is intrinsically mixed conductor. The second is you have to have a high capacity at the lower potential. For electrolytes, this material should not react with lithium and should have no any electronic conductivity. For the cathode, you should have a mixed conductor, high capacity, high potential, lithiation, deletion potential. How can you make these three different requirement to make one material, make them function as three. It's a really challenge. So we want to see maybe possible, if possible, we really can make this kind of battery. So single electrolytes, anodes, electrolyte, we put a little bit of carbon. We remove the active material. If this case, this can function as active materials, then we can make a single material. We remove electrolyte interface, but we still need a little bit of carbon. So the key question is there any electrolytes, when we mix with carbon, they can become to anode, also they can become to cathode, meaning they have two lithiation, deletion potentials. Then we check. So we know lithium sulfide is ionic, almost ionic insulator, also electronic insulator, but they are active material. And the reaction is if the reaction is lithium sulfide can change to the sulfur and give electrons. That is a cathode, and the potential is 2.2 average. And also, a lot of metal sulfide, also anode, through the conversion reaction. And so they can sulfur, lithium sulfide or metal sulfide, if mixed together, one function can be a cathode, one function can be anode. So this is they already know this is a really very good anode. Fortunately, if you mix these two together, it's well-known electrolytes. So this is not a single case. So we have if we mix these two together, this is also well-known cathode. Even better is if we mix these three together, we can form LGPS. So this sign is anode and cathode. You mix together, sinter it, form a new phase. This is excellent electrolytes. But they consist of two components. One is anode, one is cathode. So without carbon, this is electrolytes. If we mix with carbon, this component may function as a cathode, and this component functions as anode. Then we have a high possibility one material form a solid-state battery. So that if successful, we really can make this happen. So we try. We use LGPS. We put the carbon on both sides. We function as this one side anode, one side cathode. So because they are symmetric, so either side can be anode or cathode. And then we try the literature. They really report this material. They have a very high ionic conductivity, similar as organic liquid electrolytes. And then we test. And we synthesize the material. We use the block electrode, and we measure conductivity. That's true. So we really got 10-2. And then second claimant in this paper, they talk about the stability is 0 to 5. This is different from I'm thinking, because I think they consist of cathode and anode component. It should not be stable in the 0 to 5. And then we check the result. Why we think the way is different from this result. We check, we use the same semi-block, lithium, electrolytes, platinum, semi-block electron. That is a standard method to measure the electrochemical stability window. We really get the curve same as the reported date. So it looks like we are thinking is different from the result. And then we went deep thinking, what happened? Why here they have a difference? And then we check the difference. So the material, we say this is three material mixed together, sintered. We got the new electrolytes. And then we got the window use semi-block electron. But when we measure the capacity anode and cathode, we use this kind of design. The material, when we measure as anode, cathode, if they are insulator, we normally mix with carbon. Sulfur, you have to mix with carbon. Then you show the performance. So we mix the carbon and the LGPS, put the liquid electrolytes, and then we get the window anode. we got a window at cathode. So it looks like the difference is not because we sintered from a new phase. New phase is really just a little bit potential, but it's still the lithium sulfide is still there. So we think the problem is the technology we used to measure the stability is different. So here we think they still have a reaction between the electrolyte to the PT, but the surface is too small, and your scan rate is faster, so the current is too small to be detected. But in the real case, in a battery, actually, you really have a lot of carbon there. So this case is not same case as the real bulk battery. But this case is the same as a thin film battery. So thin film battery we develop right now is all solid state thin film battery, no problem. But if you want to build bulk electrode, you have a lot of carbon there. So you have to use this technology to measure the intrinsic stability. So this technology right now only suitable for thin film battery. And if you want to build a bulk or solid state battery, you have to use mix with carbon with electrolytes, amplify the reaction current. So then you can get the intrinsic stability. Then we use this idea. This is the idea we got here, and that's exactly the same. We just mix with carbon black, and then we got this curve. So here, this is the anode, lithium germanium sulfide. The germanium sulfide anode. This is a lithium sulfide performance. Exactly the same as a pure lithium sulfide, very similar, and this is really similar as a germanium sulfide. So this confirms the problem when they published the paper, they used the traditional, this semi-block electrode. They cannot detect intrinsic true stability window. And then we just mentioned, we have to, since this structure is the same as we test, we think this is the right way to test the intrinsic stability of electrolytes. Then our suggestion is we need to change the method from semi-block to this technology. So we have to mix with carbon black to the electrolyte, and then we can get the intrinsic stability window. Then, based on this preliminary data, we fabricate a cell. So we use this LGPS and mix with the carbon black, and then we test charge-discharge, constant current, and this we use a normal organic electrolytes. This is really similar as the lithium sulfide. We also test at the lower potential as anode performance, and then this is the capacity we have. And this is the same as germanium sulfide. And then we do the SPS. How can you confirm the reaction is really true like we expected? So measure the sulfur or measure germanium when they change the germanium sulfide to germanium lithium compound and alloy, the germanium valence was really changed. So we confirm this is really a reaction with the conversion reaction followed alloy reaction. And this is the same as lithium sulfide. And this is, we use the organic electrolyte to test. We want to build a solid state. We have to make, change this electrolyte as a solid state, meaning we use exact same LGPS. So this LGPS mixed with carbon. And then we test it again. We just press it. And then we check the charge discharge at high voltage, charge discharge at this is a charge discharge at a different cycle. This charge discharge at a different current. And this is at a low voltage. So this will test the cathode performance. This is anode performance. Solid LGPS, the performance is same as we test in organic electrolytes. So we got enough data. We confirm they can function as anode, confirm as a cathode, use lithium as a counter electrode. And then we build a full cell. So the full cell, we simple, we put the carbon on the top, carbon on the bottom, and in the middle layer, no carbon, we press it. And this is the SEM, we have a carbon on top and carbon on the bottom. We put a carbon on purpose on one side higher. The reason is the germanium sulfide, they have a conversion reaction. The conversion reaction is not reversible. We have a more lithium sulfide cathode to compensate on the conversion reaction irreversible capacity. The alloy reaction is totally reversible. So this is simple SEM. Here we have carbon, here no carbon. Just press. And then we get a charge discharge curve. This is a full cell. And then we think the principle is for the cathode side, the lithium sulfide change to the sulfur. And for anode side, lithium germanium sulfide change to the conversion reaction and then alloy. And then this, we test, suppose this is the total reaction, it cannot be a 0 to 5 volt. It should be between 0.5, 1.5, and 2.5. That is only 1 volt stability. Then we claim the advantage is we remove the interface. Then the interface resistance should be very small. So we need to have evidence to show that. So then we build another cell. We use LGPS on the anode cathode, but in the middle electrolyte, we change it to the lithium sulfur and phosphor sulfide. That is the very good electrolytes, 80-20, they can get 10 minus 3 ionic conductivity. That is a 3-layer. In that case, we do have electrolyte interface. And this is the impedance. If we use this electrolyte and the LGPS anode, LGPS cathode, we get interface resistance. This is the resistance. If we use single material, we get 10 times less interface resistance. So that is validate our idea. Interface, we can remove the interface. And then we also do different the current and different temperature. This room temperature, this is 50. We can even higher. In that case, we can increase the capacity. And also, we think we are the trust the EFC is a nano. So we want to see how it affects nano battery. So this is a traditional. Traditional battery, so solid state, is really, really challenging to make a nano. The reason is the interface is a nano scale. You cannot make a real true nano. A lot of people talk about nano, it's hard. But we can do it. Because our idea right now, we use single material. And in that case, we can make no carbon. We do not need a carbon put there. We just make a thin film, nano scale. We're coating electronic conductor on the both sides. Within the tunnel effect, this is the electrode. This is true nano battery. So we really can use this idea, make a nano battery. In that case, we can make a nano rod battery. Center is electronic conducting, outside electronic conducting. Middle is tunnel effect anode, tunnel effect cathode. And we can integrate this to the board. And if you have a nano robust nano device, we can make a nano battery. So this is we acknowledge this is the student do the work, and we acknowledge the EFRC. And we also, this is partially supported by NSF. Thank you for your attention.
Any questions for the speaker?
So I think it's a very interesting comparison. I also a little confused about this structure. In one case, you are transform one side to anode, the other side to cathode, and you are storing the charge in that configuration. Now, this is basically, are you suggesting if we switch, once it's discharged, it will drive the reaction to the other side, right? Are we suggesting that if we switch, then you are driving?
You
are going to be, just switch the electrode, you are going to be able to get intense now, and that will be
Actually, if you switch theoretically, you can, because on anode side, original anode side, you have a lithium sulfide plus germanium. So that lithium sulfide still can be function as a cathode if you removed. At the cathode side, removed, if they have a lithium germanium, we have not used it. Even a cathode side, when you function as cathode, lithium germanium side, germanium sulfide is not working because they are not in the window. But the performance is different from your first charge. So meaning is when you first identify top cathode, bottom anode, you have a performance. If you really want to switch it, the performance is different from your first assigned anode cathode. But they really function because when you have a conversion reaction, you still have a lithium sulfide there.
Chunsheng from ECS Meeting. So I have a question regarding your cycling. So you show that there is, you're claiming that it's a single material.
Yeah.
In fact, your cathode and anode are undergoing conversion reactions
Yes.
to lithium sulfide and
Yeah.
lithium sulfide.
Yeah.
So is there no volume change in those electrode changes?
Okay.
And how does that affect the interface between your cathode anode and
Yeah.
LGPS?
So right now we talk about interfaces, electrode, electrolytes. So since your electrode also are electrolytes, they are single material. But inside the electrode, they still have an interface. For example, if you have a germanium sulfide, you charge, they still form an interface between the germanium and lithium sulfide. But that interface is belong to the electrode internal interface. The oscillatory battery, the big problem is the electrolyte-electrode interface. Electrodes themselves, they also decay. Even you use aqueous, organic liquid electrolyte, they still decay. That is volume change, still have volume change. So the next step is, if we solve the interface, next step we need to reduce the electrode volume change. But that is due to the intrinsic, the electrode degradation, not electrolytes. If we can, yeah, internal electrode still have a resistance. We need the next step, reduce that part.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, what we'll do is we'll close the first part of the morning session. I encourage everybody to come back at 10:30. Dave Weslowski from the First Center will be chairing the second part of the morning. And thank you to all the speakers.
Thank you.